In this lesson, we're going to review factoring trinomials and what methods can be used to factor a trinomial. What you see here is a quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c. This equation is considered to be quadratic because the highest exponent is a degree of 2. Additionally, this polynomial is a trinomial since there are 3 separate unlike terms. What we're going to do in this lesson is learn how to factor this trinomial when the coefficient of the x squared term is equal to 1. Let's look at some examples. Our first trinomial, we have a squared plus 10a plus 24. The first thing you want to look for anytime you're factoring is if you have any common factors among all of the terms in your trinomial. And in this case, we do not have any common factors. That means we are going to rewrite our trinomial as the product of 2 binomials. Beginning with our first term, a squared, we're going to fill in the first part of our answer with a and a. Reason being is if I were to FOIL this problem backwards, a times a gives me a squared. The next thing that we want to do is figure out 2 numbers that multiply to give me 24, but add to give me 10. You can make a chart if it helps you out. So we're looking for 2 numbers that are going to multiply to give me 24, but add to give me 10. Some factors of 24 could be 8 and 3. So 8 times 3 equals 24. However, 8 plus 3 does not equal 10. So we'll have to try something else. Another factor of 24 is 6 and 4. So if we check, 6 times 4 equals 24. 6 plus 4 equals 10. So since this combination has worked, we're going to use positive 6 and positive 4 as the factors for my trinomial. My final answer is a plus 6 times a plus 4. And if you want to check your work, you can check by FOILing your answer. When you FOIL your answer, you should arrive at the same problem that we began with. Let's check out the next problem. N squared minus 3n minus 28. We do not have any common factors, so we'll have to factor by finding the product of 2 binomials. First, beginning with our n squared term, we can fill in our answer with n times n, which would give me n squared. Next, I want to think of factors that multiply to give me negative 28. So one example might be 7 times 4. 7 times 4 gives me a positive 28. And 7 plus 4 gives me 11. We have a negative 28 and a negative 3. So we'll have to try something else, like 7 times negative 4. 7 times negative 4 is negative 28, which matches our problem. 7 minus 4 gives me a positive 3. Which does not match my problem. So let's try something else, like negative 7 times positive 4, which still gives me negative 28. However, when I add them together, now I get negative 3. So since this combination of negative 7 and positive 4 has worked correctly, I will fill in my parentheses with negative 7 and positive 4. So my final answer is n minus 7 times n plus 4. Let's take a look at number 3. We are looking for two numbers that will multiply to give me positive 24, but add to give me negative 11. So some factors of 24, 6 times 4, 8 times 3, 2 times 12, just to name a few. So 6 times 4 would equal 24. However, 6 plus 4 equals 10. So this one doesn't work. 8 times 3 equals 24. 8 plus 3 equals 11. And this matches close to what I have in my problem, but still not yet. Something else you might want to consider, since we did get 8 plus 3 to equal 11, let's try and change this problem slightly. So for our factors, let's instead try negative 8 times negative 3, which still gives me a positive 24. However, negative 8 plus negative 3 now gives me a negative 11, and I finally have found my match to my problem. And so my final answer is x minus 8 times x minus 3. Last problem. C squared plus 4c minus 45. So I'm looking for two numbers that are going to multiply to give me negative 45, but add to give me a positive 4. So if we think about this, 9 times 5 gives me 45. If I make this a negative 9 and a positive 5, then negative 9 plus 5 equals negative 4. And I need a positive 4. So something I can do instead is change my signs to a positive 9 and a negative 5. So now if I check myself for my factors, 9 times negative 5 is negative 45, and 9 plus negative 5 is a positive 4. And so my final answer is c plus 9 times c minus 5. At this time, you can pause the video. Here are 4 more examples for you to try by yourself. You can pause the video now and try these problems on your own.